A study was done on children from the ages 8 through 14, focused on how much violence was in each video game. Typically, about 8% of the video games out there contain violence. Even though there are parental game ratings for children, that does not mean that there was no violent scenes in that game. According to Lieutenant Colonel David Grossman, he explained how killing is not a natural trait for humans, but built, we are not built with it, but it is something that we learn over time. Violence is shown everywhere, not just in video games, such as television. Most movies or commercials or TV shows, they will end up showing violence in some scene to create comedy or a natural eye catcher. Video games are not the only motivators to create violence. If someone wanted to join an in-group, like Schoffer talks about on page 82, people may do something out of the ordinary to join that group. For that was for the functionalism. For interactionalist perspective, most children or even adults that play video games include violence anyways. Um, most apps that are in the game section and that aren't strategic, they will include violence. Um, and minimal amounts of video game gameplay may trigger violent behavior. That's going back to that app and showing that most games have violence. And later on, when the kids aren't 8 through 14, so 15 and on, they will show more aggressive behavior due to that. My key concept includes that it's not on the person to think reasonably without committing acts of violence. Um, People shouldn't just act on impulse. Even though most video games include violence, self-control is more of the issue on not acting on impulsive behaviors, like I talked about before with the first concept. Um, Reduction in gameplay and redirection to other activities results in less aggressive children, involving them and creating their own social rules. So if they have their own social rules and they become important, they'll have less time to be aggressive with uh, have an aggressive behavior. In conclusion, I'm now able to include different perspectives and other angles to approach a topic, and it's also very eye widening to have um, all these opinions. Also, being able to see all the potential controversial topics shows me that there can be always something to talk about, no matter what the issue is. For my last point, when a problem arises, I am now able to counter that problem with many solutions rather than before. I used to have just a few, and it lets me have a better answer.